Remember, he had a 0 and incomplete on his first run. Let's see how he goes and throws it down. Dylan Hughes in that first outside zone. Dylan Hughes gets it outside zone, really well executed. Doesn't get to the second outside zone of the bridge. That allows Justin Pollock to gain that proximity. He's right there. Justin Pollock now takes the shower line. Dylan gets outside zone 3 transition. A late transition there by JTP. Both of them bring it around, little bumper tap there. So you saw Dylan get close to the outside zone 1. Justin was not. Ford Mustang, link engine management. Let's see what we got. Initiation by Justin Pollock. Quick little handbrake. That is in the decel area as denoted by the judges. Under that second outside zone. Dylan Hughes off of that third outside zone, and here's Justin with the clean air. Really well executed, but I got, does it come down to, remember, don't pull the handbrake, boys. Send it, here we go. The Royal Purple O'Reilly Auto Parts Falcon Tire, BMW out front. Justin Paul, JTP in that chase position. There goes Dylan Hughes, the first outside zone. Now transition to the second. Justin Paul taking a bit of a shallower line. So it looks like JTP,
mechanical issue.
He might be having the mechanical issue, unfortunately.
Now what does he not have? Jared there runs over and over again in a safe way, and just showing here at top 32.
And I think so. Dylan looks like he's just going to cruise through. He's not going to put it down there. But I think it was pretty straightforward. No big decisions, but just to build the excitement and know how it's going to unfold is okay. Lighten them up. There we go. Little celebratory donuts. As the dozer, Dylan Hughes, Royal Purple, Falcon Tires, O'Reilly Auto Parts, BMW.
Doing it for the fans.
Doing it for the fans. He's got the buy run. You know what? I don't mind that. Usually it's like buy now Japan. Sylvia Asutine comes now into view of the fans here in the building. Nice job on the outside zone. Masayama gripped up, kind of dove in. Dylan Hughes using all the course. Hanging out on the outside zone 2. Phil's outside zone 3. Masayama a little shallow. Needs to gain proximity, and there he does around that final clip. Really well done in the latter portion of the story. You're Masayama, you need to throw down. You got Dylan Hughes in your rearview mirror. Oh, look at that. Right there, just mimic each other on that initiation. Masayama almost gets all the way out there, and now look at that nasty transition by Masayama. Dylan Hughes, this is what you're talking about right there. Is this enough? Now it comes into that final inside clip.
Masayama.
Podium. And he had the Permatex livery right now. He wants to do Royal Purple Proud, the official oil of Formula Drift. Matt Field with a nasty snap. Snap into it like a Slim Jim. That a boy. Matt Field goes back, taps the bumper. He did it. That's the run you were looking for. 1, 2, 3 outside zones. Dylan Hughes pushes. Great driving there by Dylan and Matt Field. You asked for it. Remember, Matt Field is going to be up his rear end here. Yeah, watch this. Matt Field initiates in tow of Dylan Hughes. Dylan, keeps it off the wall, pretty good distance. Dylan Hughes gets a little deep. Now let's see how he handles the final outside zone. Dylan Hughes, now he's stepping up. We talk about that X factor. Can they bring it?
Wow.
Matt Field really close. When I tell you, I think this is going to be a side. Going across the nose of Mike Power and a Sylvia. Look at that. We see Dylan Hughes, big angle there. Mike kind of rolling into it. Didn't exactly just go. His rate to angle wasn't very quick from Power. Now, and a big correction there from Dylan Hughes. Oh man, he comes out of drift. That might have.
Yeah, that sounds mechanical.
Yeah, that's obviously mechanical. Maybe axle or power steering. But guess what? With that major mistake from Dylan Hughes, that means Mike Power will have a major advantage here.
We'll see.
What's going on here? Did he? The light extinguished. Is Fetty dead on the line? So Dylan Hughes continues through the course. The side lap was completed. Did I know Fetty? I don't know what's going on here. Let's find out.
I need to make a comment on these wheel markers, Jared. These are the best looking wheel markers in the game here. The
Italian flag on the Italian car with the Italian driver.
But it also gives us a great idea of what's going on with those wheels. I like the creativity. I like the way that it was implemented. Beautifully done.
Want to find out what's going on? Chase run. So here we go with that Pennzoil 599 GTV. And here comes Federico Tarifo initiating into the bank. Now Dylan Hughes can't play it too cool. Federico in that single turbo V12 Ferrari now coming slamming down in that first flip. Dylan Hughes, I think, gonna play it a little bit cool, dial it back to about a 9, 9.5, because he does have that advantage of good markers, like you said, Ryan, really stand out, but unfortunately standing still is not what you want to do. By run. Thank you, Lorette, and unfortunate for Darren Kelly. We'll see him in New Jersey, get the right part. Whoa, as lightning strikes. The royal purple BMW rips through the course. 2J powered. Dylan the Dozer Hughes gets the win. Everybody's yelling at me. We're the messenger. Send it! Here we go. Travis Reeder, Dylan Hughes. The zaniest battle you've probably ever seen in Formula Drift history. Travis Reeder initiates into the bank. Dylan Hughes goes up into the wall, pulls up with great angle. No smoke, it's purely mist. Coming up the back end of their vehicles. GT Radio Falcon Tire splash zone is on. They're jumping in like a high dive into that clipping point 2. Now into outside zone 2. Coming in, look at that splash right there in the crease. The water's collecting there. Travis Reeder barely goes over it. Dylan Hughes in the proximity. Make him feel the love.
After some dry, it's just wild.
Yeah, so here we go. Dylan Hughes initiates Travis Reeder right there. Look at these guys. I told you they'd be holding hands. Rain or shine, these guys are down for a good time. Dylan Hughes, Travis Reeder. Now coming into splash zone, boom, right into that first inside clipping point. Oh, Travis Reeder looks like he keeps that a little too far long. And Dylan Hughes pulls away. Now he goes into the splash crease. Oh, look at Reeder. He comes back, he fights back. Oh, he straightens out. And it looks like, wet or not, Dylan Hughes, Reeder spins. Contact, slip and slides.
Lots of contact.
I mean, I feel like this is an episode of White. Dylan Hughes comes down. We're losing bumpers. Dylan Hughes gives a little twitchy. Matt Field jumps to the side of him. We keep on partying, boys. Dylan Hughes, more angle, and Matt Field spins. Dylan Hughes keeps continuing on. And Dylan Hughes is Aquaman. As again, don't know where his trident is, but well done. Against the dozer that is King Neptune right now, harnessing the water energy. Matt Field up on the bank. Look at that, still not backing down. I said play it smart, but still being aggressive. Matt Field now coming down the bank, splashing down into that first interclip. Some brake speed tap. That is a decel zone. That is allowed. That is to be expected. Now into that second inside clip. Matt Field goes into the crease. If Dylan Hughes keeps it settled, the dozer will be going to the finals. And it looks like Dylan Hughes will be getting the win. Matt Field, unofficially, will not be getting ever win in the rain. Chris Forsberg got second in Atlanta. Can he better it here in these very wet conditions? Dylan Hughes initiates on the bank. Good angle from him and his royal purple BMW O'Reilly Auto Parts. As the windshield wipers are wiping, the Rain X is a-working. Now down into that first inner clip. Chris Forsberg chasing him down into that second inner clip. Forsberg keeping the composure. Dylan Hughes, great angle from him. Going to that second outside zone, into the crease with Dylan Hughes. Chris Forsberg right there in the highest horsepower, all-new Nissan Z, the NOS Energy Z, chasing down the royal purple BMW on Falcon tires. Wow. That was a great run. Time. Is this it? Are we going to get a winner? Chris Forsberg or Dylan Hughes? Chris Forsberg initiates in his NOS energy drink. Nissan Xeno GT Red. Look at Dylan Hughes, the proximity, the angle from Forsberg. Dylan Hughes chasing him down. You can see that brake light just barely kind of flickering on the wall. Coming down to that first inside clip. Transition. Nice job by Dylan Hughes into the second inside clip. Are we going to go one more time? Oh, Dylan Hughes does take out that inside clip. Chris Forsberg gets in the crease, does exceed it just a little bit. Now coming, bring it along across the finish line. Forsberg or Hughes. Slide him right for the royal purple. Of course, he's sponsored by Rain X. He is Neptune. Congratulations, his first ever win, that 2JZ Power. And our homeboy. Here we go, Dan Burkett. Rat Industries, gear wrench. Comes on in. Big swing there. And you talk about Dan Burkett, Ryan, and here he is, back in it. Great job by Dan Burkett. Dylan Hughes again, right there, banging on his door. Woo, look at this. Well done by Dan Burkett. Dylan Hughes, one more outside zone. Is there a blaring? Go Dylan Hughes, Dan Burkett. We saw a great battle between these two gentlemen, and we'll see if we see it again, or is somebody gonna stand out and rise to the occasion. And Dylan Hughes, oh, looks like Dan Burkett jumps in on the inside a little too aggressive. You saw him exceed those front wheels, but Dan Burkett now, he looks like he's making Dylan maybe crack under pressure, but Dylan Hughes transitions back in that final outside zone. And man, it looks like these guys Dan Burkett's got out front, but I feel like Dylan, his posture, his confidence coming out of Orlando, give himself a little bit of room there, but is that too much? And boom, goes in the side of him. But this is almost like what we saw in the first battle, where Dan went, and as you called him, a backstop. Dylan the backstop, but right now the Dozer living up to his name. In that final outside zone, looks like he stays in it. He's going for those neon colors. Here we go. Well, speaking of neon, the Type S lights are on underneath the vehicles. Here comes Dylan the Dozer Hughes into that first outside zone. Rome Charpentier, he attacks, gets to the side. So you got kind of an E46 and an E36 into that second outside zone. Dylan Hughes qualifying third yesterday, now here in the competition. Comes in that final outside zone. Dylan Hughes using all of the course. But Rome Charpentier, here, Dylan Hughes. Come on, boys. Who's gonna rise to the occasion? Rome Charpentier, I feel like this is a changing of the guard. These kind of these new breed drifters, these young cats who are going for championship. Oh boy, look at that. So as you see, Rome Charpentier, Dylan Hughes, like I said, confidence in his corner. Look at the maxed out angle from Rome Charpentier. Let's see the transition into our final outside zone. How do they handle it? Rome goes and digs deep. Slide him left for Dylan and Rome Charpentier. Wow. Look at that. Rome gets the... And here comes Dylan Hughes into that first outside zone. Look at Dylan using all of the course. Ola Yeager not as deep as Hughes now into that second outside zone. You can see Dylan thrashing into that second outside zone, flowing. He talked about this yesterday, going 2 to 4. 3 just happens to be there. Oh man, but he goes really deep. It's that final outside zone. Big deep breath for Dylan Hughes. Ola Yeager needs to throw down a gangster line. He knows he's going against Dylan Hughes, who did get the victory in a very wet Orlando. Now into that second outside zone goes Ola Yeager, and Dylan Hughes at this point needs to be a little bit closer. And Ola Yeager looks like he's filling all those outside zones. Dylan Hughes goes for the attack on that last outside zone, and he does a very similar line to what he did in the lead position. Everybody else, lose with grace.
Well, let's see what happens. That's my recommendation. Here we go.
There's more rounds, there's more competition, there's more tires to be burned. Dylan Hughes will lead. Royal Purple, Riley Auto Parts, Falcon Tire, BMW. Got the 2J under the hood, the LS of Rome Charpentier, trying to give that modern hell, as his wing says. Now in that second outside zone, Dylan Hughes does a good job. Rome Charpentier, you can see him nice and close. Has to back off just a little bit. And now into that last and final outside zone. Does get those tires into that and beyond. That Rome. The final bracket, that bracket of death is being branded the Turk and Osbo battle. That's up next. Okay, Rome Charpentier going across the nose of Hughes, and Hughes tucks in really tight. Wow, doctor, look at that. Now into that second outside zone. Rome really deep in that second outside zone, but cannot shake Dylan Hughes. Now Dylan transitions into that last outside zone. That was a good move. I want to see that overhead perspective. And moving on. Who's going against Ryan Turk in the Great Eight? Hughes or Charpentier? Approaching that second outside zone. Good proximity by Rome in that chase position. Dylan Hughes using all the course. Dylan going a little bit deeper. Good fluid line. A little shimmy to get into that second outside zone, or excuse me, third outside zone. And then finally, Rome, good proximity. Wasn't as deep, but good in the pocket. Almost comes to the experience. Knowing who you're going against, and you're just calming the nerves. And now Rome, aggressive flip, but Dylan Hughes quickly gets to the side. of that E36. It looks like Dylan not as aggressive as well, so it looks like they learned something from that first battle. And remember, Dylan was really aggressive on the outside zone 4. Let's see how he handles this. Looks like he lets him go, and then, oh boy.
Rome was off the track and starting to spin, and Dylan was right there. That's my initial view of what happened. But it looked like Rome was already rotating off the track. He was 2 wheels off.
Adventure, yeah, a lot of different scenarios here. As Ryan Turk looks like he transitions, but Dylan Hughes knows who he's going against. He's got to apply the pressure. Both these guys have podiums. Look at that fender flapping in the wind. Now into that second outside zone, approaching the third outside zone. Ryan Turk and that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla into that final outside zone. Dylan Hughes, watch this, going to drop in and spins out. And that will just really seal on the flavor for Ryan Turk. Gets the win officially. That Rain-X. There we go. Dylan Hughes out front, who qualified 5th yesterday. A great showing for him. Initiates high on the bank. Simon Olsen. He's going to need to mimic that angle. He does get close. That great carbon Kevlar HGK kitted Supra, big angle from Dylan, almost going the outside of the track. That would be essentially be like kind of a deduction, not an incomplete. Simon, you can see him kind of clamoring, lunging forward, but needs to mimic that angle. Gets close there, I like that towards the latter portion, but just a little too late there for Mr. Olsen. If you're just tuning in, we are not even halfway through our top 32. Here goes Simon Olsen. Again, from Norway in that 2JZ powered Toyota Supra, the all-new Supra. Dylan Hughes, you can see him kind of kick back a little bit, and now he jumps up. Simon Olsen, great job right now. Let's see what we got here coming to that power alley. Throw some more angle at it. Dylan Hughes into that third outside zone. Looks like Simon Olsen definitely got some confidence in between that. Oh, boingo!
Wow.
Wow, bing bong, there we go. He's getting that car just tight and right with every turn and burn, but Dylan Hughes win in Orlando. Can he do it again here in Seattle? This is his home track. The Royal Purple Falcon Tires, O'Reilly Auto Parts. BMW, big angle from him, high on the bank. Castro, great proximity. Both them kind of wavering. Castro, great proximity by Castro. Coming down into the power alley. Both them filling that second outside zone. Castro dives in on the inside. Not the proper line by Castro, unfortunately, but he still holds on that proximity. A good job. That composure there, some things going here, but we know Castro is very capable. He's a very capable driver. Here we go. Trudeau Meteldom, Toyota GR86, big angle there. Dylan Hughes looks like kind of pedals back, but now gets closer. Look at how settled that car is from Castro. It looks so good. And now into that second outside zone. Here comes Dylan Hughes. He takes that nice approach into that third outside zone. Wow. Wow, look at that diving in on that inside clip. And then that final outside zone, that overhead view, really highlighting the composure of both these guys. That Falcon Tire Corvette in that first outside zone. Dylan Hughes right there, the dozer, pushing the beast in the bay into that second outside zone. Through that power alley, good transition from Field and Hughes. And past that inside clip, great transition, and now, oh my goodness! The composure of Hughes right there.
Here in their respective criteria.
Dylan Hughes, Matt Field, let's see how they handle this. The Falcon tires wrapped around those Forged Star wheels for both the drivers. Dylan Hughes, this is his home track, Evergreen Speedway. And he wants to get the win here, but Matt Field has not got a win this year. Here he goes, transition to outside zone 3. Fairly similar to what Dylan Hughes did in that chase position at first glance. Now transitioning, Matt Field drops in at formation. Whoa, yo! Another one more time battle, shimmy shake into that big outside zone. We've seen some amazing driving so far. And look at that, the Vortex Supercharged Corvette of Matt Field comes on in. This is Dylan Hughes' house. He grew up cutting his teeth here and burning up tires. That sun coming into play, shining a light on him. It's that final outside zone. And Dylan Hughes gets into formation, gets deep, the 129. With your own man versus machine and synchronicity and going against another man and machine versus the track. Here we go, Dylan Hughes. Whoa, Matt Field jumps to the side of, oh no! Matt Field spins and Dylan Hughes continues on. He does need to continue. And if he finishes it out, Dylan Hughes is going to the final 4. Comes around, oh, buddy. Brian, the question lies here, why does he spin? And I have an idea.
It's the fault, whoever's deemed at fault here, and this might be...
And there it is.
So Dylan getting into the wall.
In this fast orange Permatex BMW E46. Here we go into that first inside clip. Let's see how he handles it. Trent Beecham. Little wide swing into the first inside clip. Now to that second outside zone. Approaching the second inside. Ooh, Trent Beecham aggressive. Getting to the side of Dylan Hughes. Trent Beecham qualifying 31st, but man, he's looking like he qualified first right now. Beecham has the proximity, great proximity from Bale out of the bleachers a couple times. We saw torrential rain, it was insane, but right now they're gonna make it rain some tire debris. Here we go, Trent Beecham throws in 102 out front, and Trent Beecham dials it in that first clip. Here comes Dylan Hughes, surging an attack, but Trent Beecham, I'll tell you what, this looks like a total different Beecham from what we saw in qualifying to now when it goes to head-to-head. Coming in that outside zone, you can see Trent Beecham started really strong in that Orlando, the wet and wild. So Dylan, the Dozer Hughes, Permatex, fast orange, Falcon tires, BMW initiates into that first inside clip. Travis Reeder, this should be a really good one. Let's make some noise for these two guys. Coming to that second outside zone. Travis Reeder gets in the door of Dylan Hughes, pushing around the Dozer himself. Travis Reeder goes, whoa, he tries, it looks like he got lost in the smoke. Dylan Hughes continues on through the course. Just knowing these guys, you want to win in an honorable fashion. I don't think he's going to have, the most aggressive run, but if I'm him, pedal back, put on a good show, but take into consideration, you do have that advantage. But Reeder, he has nothing to lose. He's going to let it all hang out. Travis Reeder comes into that second inside clip. Dylan Hughes just barely nicks it. Now coming to that last outside zone. Here goes Reeder. Reeder gets into that last outside zone. And like I said, I think that's a fair, honest approach. She can't leave before the lights extinguish. See if we've got a clean start. Everything's saying that we do. Here we go. Well, look at that, tip to tail. 103, 103 miles per hour on initiation. Going past that first inside clip, swinging into that first outside zone, into the second. Again, that drone gives just all the true telling. Ken Gucci be transparent about just being comfortable on the track. Now in that last outside zone, nice job by Dylan Hughes using all the track. After the Goosh. See this initiating 100 miles per hour. Past that inside clip, well done. Good execution by Gucci out front. Transitioning out. And there we go, more contact. That gosh dang smoke signal. So contact was made. Oh, smoke signal. And that combination, that sun. So imagine going in, I mean, we're looking directly in the sun. I mean, that was a combination of Mike Power, the Dozer, just goes ahead and bulldozes in the side of Ken Gucci, so Formula Drift. So, all right, we'll see who comes out on top. The Ola Jaeger and Dylan Hughes battle. Dylan the Dozer Hughes, winner in Orlando. Ola Jaeger, the Japan Auto Mark IV Toyota Supra. Dylan Hughes, he's got the 2J, so he's got the heart of the Supra underneath the hood of his royal purple BMW. Coming to that second outside zone. He is dialed. Ooh, Ola Jaeger having some struggles in that chase position. See, he's fighting the car. Now Dylan Hughes wraps around that second inside, and bingo, puts it.
Not any mistake from him.
All right, so let's see how this unfolds. Ola Jaeger, Japan Auto. Ooh, and Dylan, you talk about doing these right things, and it seems like got a little nervous there on initiation. That might have been caused by Jaeger in the lead position. A quick little transition there by Dylan Hughes. He's not exactly as tight and right as we'd like to see. I don't think this dictates. Oh, there goes Ola. That's just going to solidify it.
Yeah.
Yep, so not as concise.